They're crunchy. Oh. Well, we are recording. Hi everybody. So I decided with everything that's going on right now, nope. It's gonna be so long to edit out. I'm annoyed at myself. Proving far more difficult than it should be. And I can talk to people. I don't have a problem talking with people. Hi everybody. So I decided with everything that's going on right now, I thought I'd share just a little bit of what I like to do whenever I'm having an off moment, or maybe if I want to celebrate something with friends, and that is baking. It's my favorite. So to get started, best thing we need to do is get suited up. I got this wonderful apron from my friend Mikey Kent. Baking is cheaper than therapy, and I fully agree. It's a perfect fit. I also really like this one because it's adjustable, so I can get it for whatever size I want, depending on how many cookies I eat. Anywho. So, my most important device that I have with me today is my KitchenAid mixer. I got this from my family for Christmas one year because they know how much I love to bake. I'm gonna use a whisk attachment first, and then we're gonna switch to the paddle later on. Today, we're making chocolate chip cookies.
This couldn't be more delicious and good for you.
Now, I know this is a very basic recipe typically, but I make it a little bit differently than other people. It's really heavy loaded on the chocolate chips. I like to use Ghirardelli chocolate. It's a step up from what your typical chocolate chip cookies are like. To prep things, first what you want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Next, take 2 baking sheets and line them with parchment paper, like so. I usually try and cut them so they're just about exactly the size, maybe a little bit over and all, so it's to make your life a lot easier. I don't like doing greased pans anymore these days because it's an easier cleanup, things slide off a lot better. Also the bottoms.
Oh, I see where this is going.
The bottoms of the cookies.
All right.
Won't burn as much. It's more likely for even cooking. So we're gonna set those aside for now, and we're gonna get started on our ingredients. What am I doing? What are we doing?
I cannot show you everything.
Okay, well, can you show me one thing?
First, we will need 1.5 cups all-purpose flour. I like to use King Arthur brand. It's my favorite. A lot of pastry chefs love to use it, and it does really well. 1 teaspoon baking soda. 1/2 teaspoon kosher salt. 1/2 cup unsalted butter, room temperature. 1/2 cup firmly packed light brown sugar. 6 tablespoons granulated sugar. 1 large egg. That one well. Everything's falling. 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. And the most important ingredient, chocolate chip cookie. Wow. Blech. And the most important ingredient, 2 1/4 cup, I know it's a lot, of semi-sweet morsels. Again, Ghirardelli chocolate's my favorite for this one. I'm saying Ghirardelli, it doesn't really matter. I don't know what it's Ghirardelli. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. Point is, it tastes good. Let's see here, okay. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna mix together some of our dry ingredients. We're gonna go with our flour, our baking soda, and salt. Sift together pretty easily, just use a whisk. Now that that's incorporated, we're gonna set that to the side and work on creaming our butter and sugar together. I forgot to plug in the mixer. Oops, it's going well. Super annoyed at myself. Cool, so, that goes in there. Do our white sugar, light brown sugar. We're gonna beat this on medium speed for about 2 minutes, just until it's creamed. If you don't have a KitchenAid mixer, that's okay. Actually, I've done this recipe many times, and honestly, the best way I found to do it is wash your hands and cream it with the warmth of your hands. I've actually been able to get a great mixture that way, doing everything by hand whenever I don't have all the utensils or my mixer with me on the road. It works pretty well. So we're gonna let this go for about 2 minutes until it's smooth, and then we're gonna work on the next part and adding the egg and vanilla extract in. Now that that's done, we're going to
Fold in the
egg and the vanilla, just on low speed, just so we can incorporate it together. Egg. And 1 teaspoon vanilla. Ah, it's everywhere. Ooh. Okay, now that that part's been incorporated, we're gonna go to the next important part, and we're gonna take our dry mixture of our flour and our baking soda and salt, and we're gonna slowly mix that in. Make sure not to over mix at this point.
Don't you dare!
Otherwise, your cookie's not gonna turn out to the same consistency of what we want it to be, okay? So just gradually add it in on a low speed. And if things start to get a little too stuck together and you don't think it's mixing up, just take a spatula and go through and make sure that everything is of the same consistency. Again, we don't want this to be overmixed really, but we do want to make sure that all the wet does combine with the dry, so we don't have it all be floury everywhere. We want to make sure that it's still gonna be a nice, even consistency for what we have. Come free! Now we're done with our mixer. We're actually gonna take the bowl out of the mixing stand and we're gonna incorporate in our chocolate chips.
Says fold it in.
We'll start using the wooden spoon just so we get the general part of it, so that we get most of it mixed. And then we get to forming. We're gonna go for our hands and the assistance of a spoon. So if it looks like the ratio of chocolate chips to the dough is rather high, that's because it is. Don't be alarmed, it's the way we want it. As I said, hands are sometimes better. We just really want to make sure that it's all mixed up. Plus, it's also a perfect excuse to go ahead and try some of the cookie dough once it gets stuck on your hands. Oops. Really good. Okay, now that our dough is completely incorporated with all the chocolate chips, I'm gonna put it inside the refrigerator to let it chill for a little bit so that we can get nicely formed little dough balls, and we'll put them on the cookie sheets. So let's just let it sit in the fridge for a good like 10-15 minutes. Ooh, coffee's done. Okay, so I sort of cheated a little bit, and instead of just putting it in the refrigerator, I put it in the freezer for a little while because I wanted to go a little faster. Yes, it's chilled. Okay, cool. So, grab one of your baking sheets, and now we're gonna form tiny little balls. Because these will spread out some, not a ton, but we want them to be about the size of a tablespoon. But I just measure everything by hand at this point. We want them compact. And boom, amazing. We got one whole tray done, now on to the next one. So the other reason why I like to use parchment paper for baking is because it doesn't matter necessarily what the state is of your pan, or if say it's gotten a little scary looking. The cookies are not going on the pan itself, so you don't have to be as concerned about picking up other oils or anything that may have been baked onto the pans. Not saying that's something you really want to like be dealing with on a regular basis, hopefully not. Hope you have nice pans, but if for some reason yours has gotten damaged, you can still make good use of them. So these cookies are incredibly chocolatey, and you basically want just enough dough holding together the chocolate chips. All right, into the oven they go. 350 degrees for 8 to 10 minutes. We're gonna check on them after that to make sure they haven't overbaked too much. Okay, so these just came out of the oven, so let's see how they did. Ooh, it's already melting on me. Yes, that's exactly what we want inside. We want it to be like molten lava, basically. As far as chocolate, so it's gonna be very chocolatey with a nice crispy texture on the bottom. And taste test, true test.
Oh, honey.
Yep, that's it. Now someone please come help me eat these. I can't do it on my own. Try it yourself. The Ghirardelli chocolate, highly recommend. Bon appetit.
This is so simple to make, I can't tell you.
I don't know what to say! This is so annoying! I don't know what to say. Ooh. Should I do this live? I mean, it'd be really long though. It'd be a very long live. I don't know why I'm trying to make this bigger than it is. I really don't. This is me having fun. This is me baking because I can. So, why not?